So this is Frank Main, and I'm interviewing Chris Baines. And Chris is in a federal prison in Ohio. He's serving a prison sentence on a drug conviction. And the story that we are doing is about how his case led federal prosecutors up the supply chain to eventually prosecute Chapo Guzman. And I just wanted to ask you, Chris, a few questions about your case. And the first one is when did you learn about the identity of Chapo Guzman? When's the first time that you ever heard of El Chapo?
It had to be around 2002 or 3. I heard about the big guy over there. He's supposed to be like the next Pablo Escobar or whatever.
In your business, which was totally based in Chicago, did you ever envision that you would one day have connection with people who were his major suppliers, the Margarito and Pedro Flores, who were called the twins and are also convicted on a drug conspiracy charge?
Well, you cross paths with certain people that you might know who deal with somebody. It's a small world, so it really didn't surprise me if I did. It didn't surprise me if I did. It really wasn't a big deal. As long as I got what I wanted and did what I wanted to do. I was never the type of groupie guy because somebody has, contacts to get a certain amount.
So my question is, does it surprise you that your relatively small case according to prosecutors, led them up the ladder to the twins and eventually to prosecuting El Chapo? In other words, they say there's a
Callers from a federal prison.
they say there's a straight line between your case and the Chicago indictment against Chapo.
Basically, I should never had been in the categories as them. Obvious, they was more responsible for the multitude of drugs coming into the city. And I'm from the city, so I wasn't bringing it over. You know what I mean?
Why did you not cooperate with the feds when they had you?
Cooperation was never in my vocabulary. And I don't agree with setting somebody up or cooperating to get somebody else in trouble who might not even be in trouble. And I'm totally against it. Because when all this is over, I can go downtown to Beckletown Fountain, take a picture at 11 o'clock at night. I don't have to worry about who's going to put a bullet in the back of my head. I can live comfortable after this, knowing I didn't get anyone in any trouble.
So the twins, who were Chapo's biggest customers in the United States, only got 14 years in prison because of their cooperation. You wound up with 20 years in prison. You've said that you thought that was an unfair sentence. Why do you think that?
Well, I only technically have 300 grams of heroin on my case total. That's it. They use the testimonies of other people to run my drug amount up to allow me to get 20 years. It's never fair because I don't cooperate. They throw the book at me. They cooperate, and they've had actual drugs from their case, actual hundreds of keys, and they still only get 14 years.
What's interesting to me, one of the things that's interesting to me about you and your case is your family background. I mean, you essentially had a middle-class upbringing in Maywood. Your parents owned a grocery store on the west side. Your dad drove a CTA bus. They looked out, they did the best they could to provide for you and your brothers. You wound up going to a good school, St. Joseph, in the suburbs. And you had opportunities to get into the quote unquote square world and become a middle class guy, but you opted to do the drug trafficking route or drug dealing route. Why did you do that? And looking back on it, would you have done it again?
No, I would have done it again because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. It's not worth the time, the headache. The reason I'm seeing why I probably feel that way because a lot of my friends I grew up with, even though I went to good schools and things like that, a lot of my friends was, went the other way, and you kind of like want to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Selling drugs is not hard. It's basically simple math. You see who wants it, and you know who has it to give it to somebody. So it's like the temptation of you see it around you all the time. It's fast money. It's just simple math, not realizing the risk of it because you're so young. You don't realize that, you are ruining lives of people, just using the drugs and things like that. And
lot of people look at people like you who are mid-level drug dealers and higher who, you know, are intelligent businessmen in that field, but believe that you could have been an intelligent businessman in another field. Do you agree with that?
That's correct. That's correct.
All right.
That's totally correct.
All right. Sounds like you're getting beeped. Does that mean you have to go?
Yeah, it's like 10 seconds left. I got to call you back in like 30 minutes.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Goodbye.